The Sins of a Solar Empire 2 Test Edition on Epic Games has received its first major content addition since the initial release. This new update adds several things while iterating pretty significantly on some pre-existing systems. For new content, first off, the TEC Rebels have been added as a second playable faction. This has come with the addition of 3 further capital ships to join the Cole and Akan, which includes the SoaSE carrier, the Donov, and the Marza. Starbases have also made their first appearance. They currently use the Sins 1 assets, but there should hopefully be a new one coming soon. If nothing else, the old model helps highlight how much better the game looks now. Culture mechanics have begun to be added to the game too, though we're still waiting on the addition of Titans. Beyond faction-specific content, there's been new medium maps added, including a random medium map, which should help add some more replayability in this phase of the technical preview. For previously existing systems that have received some attention, there have been more of the holdover models, effects, and sounds from Sins 1 replaced in this build, which we can expect to continue as development goes on. But the biggest thing that stands out to me is some iteration on the UI from the last build, which I did have some complaints about at the time. The new research screen in particular is a huge step up over the last one, and lays out the tech much better. Stardock have said for now the function of those menus is the priority and aesthetics aren't a huge focus, so expect some visual changes still to come there, though it is again much more usable than it was before. The orbital body mechanics where planets will change positions throughout the game as they go through their orbits, shaking up phase lanes and trade routes, remains one of my favorite parts of the game. It hasn't changed since last time, but I still really enjoy that element, so I wanted to bring it up. Being able to pre-plan and basically send a whole planet on an infiltration mission is pretty cool. There have been some pretty significant economic changes as well, overhauling how you interact with certain mechanics. This includes changes to pretty much every resource on some level, but I won't go too deep into details here. Early next week I will be streaming a full game where we'll get into some deeper thoughts on that, but they have added a new ship component, the exotic salvage policy, which is meant to help you in case your capital ship dies early by returning the exotic resource cost to you, since exotic resources, which you need to build capital ships, aren't available until later on. But I'm really not sure if this will be quite enough to solve the issue it's meant to address, where if you lost your capital ship, it would be a big problem. It basically becomes a must-buy item on that initial capital ship, so if players don't know to buy it, I can see it becoming a frustration point for new players especially. I like the option being there as a component that might be useful throughout the game, but to solve that particular problem it may need something else. Balance in general is not really the focus of development yet though, so that kind of thing will probably receive more focus as time goes on, especially as we get to the next phases with multiplayer. Those are the major changes for this version. I'll link the full patch notes in the description if you want to see more specifics. Overall, I'm still really happy with the changes so far to Sins 2, and remain as optimistic about the game as I was before. There's still enough of a mix of new and familiar systems to make the game a clear upgrade over its predecessor while still feeling like Sins, and every indication with how the preview has gone so far that those improvements will only continue to come. It is again just a tech preview, so if you want to avoid the early growing pains, you should definitely still wait on picking it up though. According to the roadmap that Stardock released, the game is receiving multiplayer in the next major update at the start of next year, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see more coverage of Sins 2 updates as they happen. Thanks for watching.